Hey there, my little tykes, my little grasshoppers. There is something that I really wanted to talk to you and make this video for you. Um, Something very important, a life lesson that I wanted to have for you guys forever. No matter what happens, no matter where I am, I want you guys to be able to utilize this very important skill. It's called discernment, and it's not something that the world is going to teach you. I mean, that's the reason why I do these videos, is so you can learn these skills even when I'm not there, even when I'm not around. And I'm always going to do my best to be around. But, just in case, I've got this video for you about discernment and, just how we do things. My grasshoppers, get your dictionaries out, because I want you to understand what discernment is before we can get into what it means to have it and how to use it in the world. So, based on our dictionary over here, discernment is described as the quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is obscure. I'm going to be real honest. There's way more to it than that. Okay? So, pay attention here, my little warrior, and my princess, because there's way more to it than that. So, discernment is essentially four different parts. The first part is knowledge. This is very important, and it is the foundation of what discernment is, because you must first understand and know in order to utilize discernment. If you don't know what's right and wrong, what is good and what is bad, discernment, it has no baseline in which to define itself, in which to enact. If you are needing to make a choice on something, but you do not understand what is right or wrong, you will not be able to use discernment to determine what is right and wrong. That is why knowledge is important. For example, if you don't know how to make a sandwich, well, so here is, so that is the foundation of discernment, which is knowledge. Keep that in mind. Using knowledge, you can use awareness, which is the second part that I want you guys to understand about discernment. You must be aware of your surroundings. If you're walking down the street and you don't realize that you're about to end up walking into a burning building because you are not aware of what's going on, you cannot use discernment to say, oh, hey, yeah, that building's on fire. But that might be a little bit too obvious. So how about I use another example? Say you walk into a bank, right? And that bank is being robbed. But you are not aware that that bank is being robbed because you're not observing your environment. You're not looking around. On that note, on that same example, there is another part of awareness, and it functions more on the social cues of your surroundings, not just the environment. It is the body language of individuals around you. In that same example of the bank robbery, say the bank has not yet been robbed, but it's about to be. How would you know that it's about to be robbed? Well, discernment would be utilizing the body language of the individuals who might be looking a little shady. They might be glancing around, looking a little nervous. So this might be, well, they might be nervous for a number of things, but why are they nervous? That's what discernment will be asking. Hey, that guy looks a little nervous. He's sweating. He's wearing a hoodie up when it's like 105 degrees outside, and his hands are in his pocket, and he's looking a little anxious. That tells you something is going wrong. Something wrong is about to happen, and something's wrong with that individual. That is discernment and using body language within it. There is another, a very obscure part of discernment, and I don't believe many people recognize. That is presence. And you're asking, but Daddy, you're probably asking, Daddy, what does that mean? Well, what I mean is your presence in a situation can allow certain events to occur that otherwise wouldn't have if you were not present. And you can use discernment to determine what will happen if I am here. Let me give you a great example. Years ago, probably by the time you guys see this video, I was sitting in a parking lot charging my Tesla, and a truck comes barreling down the parking lot of the nearby Walmart, and it crashes into a tree. I say crash, but in truth, it simply ran over the tree. It was a small tree. It ran over the tree, and it gets stuck. Okay? So this truck gets stuck. The driver and the passenger both run out and try to push the truck off the car. Now, by this point, I've stepped out of my car, and I'm a little alarmed and observing what happened. I've got my phone out. I'm getting ready to call the police. But I'm watching them try to push this truck off the tree because it was stuck by the roots. And I looked and I was like, these guys are trying to run. I used body language and the awareness of what is happening to come to that conclusion. These individuals are trying to run. They're trying to get away from this accident, which is a big no-no. Kiddos, if you ever do that, I'm going to be very disappointed. Anyways, so I have to think to myself, what can I do to prevent them from running? Because again, this is a big no-no. You're supposed to stay when you're in an accident. How can I stop them from running without endangering myself? Well, I utilized my knowledge. I understand that the average psychology of an individual is that most people do the right thing when they are being watched and when they know they're being watched. So I thought to myself, I'm going to run over there and I'm going to stand right beside him. And that's what I did. By doing this, I place my presence more closely associated to that situation. And that's what I mean, grasshoppers. That's what I mean by presence. And what happened after was exactly as I wanted to happen. They did not run. Because they knew I was there, I served as a witness and they saw me as a witness. And therefore, they did the right thing and they didn't run. Now, granted, if they did run, I would have done absolutely nothing. I would not have stopped them. That would be putting way too much risk on myself, risk of injury, and a whole lot of other stuff could have happened. That too is discernment. Knowing when to act and when not to act is also discernment. I knew that if they had tried to run, even when I was standing right next to them, that I should not chase them. That would have ended up in a very dangerous situation. I didn't know if they were carrying any weapons or not. But that's exactly why discernment is important. This is why when Daddy says, don't do that, I'm doing it, I'm saying it because I understand the situation. I understand why you shouldn't. But I wanted to give you guys this video so that you can one day learn how to have discernment in a situation. The hardest thing about this lesson, kiddos, is that the majority of discernment that you're going to have, it's going to be something that you need to learn over time. And that is the hardest thing about this lesson. That is the hardest thing about me writing this video for you guys, because I can't teach you all of it. It's impossible. There are so many situations in the world where I, I could try to write a list and I would fail. I would fail you every single time. And the best I can do is prepare you and tell you what it means to have discernment so that when the time comes, you can use it to the best of your ability. That's the most I can do. So at the end of the day, be wise, adult children, because Daddy loves you, and I'll see you soon.